is saved. You look for one by and say the devil will bring doubt in your head that after you are not a child of God. Don't happen to you. You are saved. You are saved. You are saved. And after some time, the person convinces himself he is saved. But the person really knows that he is not walking with Jesus. The person knows that the old things that you say are passed away, nothing has passed away. You call him and say, all things are passed away, all things have become new. The husband knows nothing has passed away. The wife, the wife knows, or the children know. But in the church, they have told him all things are passed away. What does salvation look like? The second question, what does it mean to be saved? What does it mean to be saved? Third question, saved, what are we saved from? What are we saved from? The fourth question now, also, what are we saved for? No. Pourquoi? What are we saved for? Okay. The first question, what does salvation look like? Second question, what does it mean to be saved? The third question also, what are we saved from? Is it fourth now? The fourth question, what are we saved for? I don't want to pretend to answer all these questions today. But there should be a process for you to begin learning. One of the greatest ways to learn is to ask questions. At what age do children really learn? À quel âge les enfants apprennent-ils vraiment? An educationist here. Uh-huh. One to six or seven. They ask all kinds of questions. Sometimes you even be confused. Sometimes you even shout at them. They ask questions about everything. So that's how they learn. But when they start going to school, that creativity is killed. Instead of them asking questions, now they ask them questions. And the questions that are asked are oriented questions. So it kills the learning. When I started on discipleship, I have look at my old phones and books, tons of questions. I'll just try it. And because I'm a coach by training, coaches ask a lot of questions. Question asks you to look at something from a different angle. So we want to look at salvation. It's one of the most misunderstood and preached concept in the church. I would just want to brush, maybe in the future, in some of our training, we'll go deeper into it. most of the time we preach salvation as transactional. Business contract. Voilà des conditions de thème de notre protocole d'accord. Si tu remplaces ce protocole d'accord, je signe le contrat, c'est signé, n'est-ce pas? So you present the condition, the person looks at them and agree or disagree. They will tell the person when you die, you go to heaven. So what is happening? This is salvation. This is heaven. When you die. So you are saved. So when we don't say you are saved, we say you are soul. We talk of soul winning. Gagner des âmes. Souls. So you are more interested in the soul. So when the soul is saved, we want to win souls. There's so many books that have been written about so many. And we pick one scripture: what shall he profit a man if he shall gain this whole world and loses what? His soul. When salvation is preached as transactional, this is what it produces. In between here and heaven, there is this place. We call it excluded middle. Excluded. There are things we don't address here. So this person, what we preach for this transactional is the forgiveness only gospel. Pardon seulement. And let me just say something before I continue. All the 5 gospels that do not make disciples, it doesn't mean that everything about it is wrong. They have some elements of truth. But the thing is that they are all anthropocentric, centered around man. The gospel is not about man. It's about God. Sin is not primarily against man, but against God. Are we together? So I just wanted to say so that you should not say no. All those gospels have elements of truth. There's something in it. But the problem is that it is centered around man. So let's come back. This excluded middle. There are many things that are not addressed. They are not addressed. Comment address them? Ce n'est pas touché, ce n'est pas traité, ce n'est pas traité. On laisse ça dans le vide. Maintenant, les gens commencent à imaginer comment le résoudre. Comment traiter avec cette question. There are many people in our churches. We have convinced them during the assurance of salvation and from our preaching, they know they are going to heaven. They know it. I want to enforce, do everything so that you enter heaven. Si tu es Camerounais, fais tout pour entrer au ciel. C'est les gens qui connaissent tous les moyens pour faire des choses, pour avoir ce qu'ils n'ont. Non, ils sont déjà formés pour avoir le raccourci pour faire tout, pour avoir ce qu'ils veulent avoir. Hein? Ils sont prêts à négocier. Négocier, ce n'est pas la corruption, c'est une négociation. So, Do you know that in this whole mindset of corrupt negotiation, sometimes we even try to negotiate our salvation with God? C'est bien. Je sais que je ne vis pas bien. Tu sais que je t'aime. Je te promets, si j'ai l'argent, je vais donner un bon montant à l'église. So after the person said, gloire à Dieu, le Seigneur m'a béni avec un contrat de 10 millions. Ça, c'est un signe que le Seigneur m'a béni. You don't even need God's blessing. Unbelievers have millions. I don't 10 million. Is financial blessing the real true blessing? Is money needed? Yes. But is financial blessing a sign of God's blessing? Or no, a sign of God's approval? So the New Testament doesn't have a systematic approach or doctrine or teaching of salvation. But throughout church history, theologians have systematized salvation. A systematic theology is a philosophical analysis and logical presentation of a concept for people. And there are many word pictures, there are many images, pictures, concepts that present salvation in the New Testament. And each of these concepts is applied differently. Today we will just look at 4. Are we together? Why you look at me as if I'm saying something is not? Are we together? The theologians are in problems. The theologians don't down the problem. So I will ask, thank God I never taught systematic theology in the Bible school. I don't even teach it. If not, you'll be saying, Pastor Never said, 12 men can use and say, yes, sir. Even if I taught it, it's what they taught me. Now that I've read the Bible, and I've read what I need to go out of it. In 1970, there's one university professor, a theological professor. His name is J.D. Dunn. He started bringing a concept of a new perspective. He said we need to read the Bible differently. Because they are giving us glasses, lenses through which to read the Bible. So when you read the Bible, you are reading through that lens. But let's go back and read the Bible in the way the first people who received the message received it. When Jesus talked to his crowd about scattering the seed, did they understand it? It was clear because that was their way of farming. They didn't need explanation because they knew how to. When Jesus gave the parable of the prodigal son, that's one of the great images of what it means to be saved. Are we together? So I said we preach salvation as transactional. Believe. So that when you die, you go to heaven. So now there's an excluded middle. Many things we don't talk about. What are some of the things we don't talk about in church? But they are real in the church. And people are struggling with them. We have questions about them. What are some of them? Sex. Just sex, we don't talk about it. Sex, on ne parle pas de ça. We don't talk about sex. Just sex. So there are men. Tom, who's the part to say, balance this. Don't practice it. The people who even try to do it a bit are women who call the other girl when they are going to marry to talk about it a bit. And then the men just believe that the man will know how to sex. Just to discover that you don't even know it. When you arrive there, you don't even know what to do. You are the one saying. So that's an example. And do you know that there are many problems in marriage because of sex? That is the number one cause of problem in the church. Is it related to salvation? Yes. How many men are now in fornication because their wife locked the door and threw the key?
Combien d'hommes se retrouvent dans l'immoralité parce que leurs femmes ont permis les hommes de jeter les pieds?
Ça, c'est aussi le concept des hommes de l'Église supportent. Now, there's another thing that happens in church. Many church people take things for granted. Especially pastors and pastors' wives.
Les pasteurs et les femmes de pasteurs.
Si tu peux commencer à toucher notre femme, on va te mettre sur discipline. On va te chasser du ministère. So they lock the door for 6 months.
Et elles ferment la porte pour 6 mois.
One sister said that the husband for 6 years has never touched her.
Une sœur a dit son mari pendant 6 ans n'avait pas touché.
I said, am I your sister? Even if you are your sister, we are sleeping on the same bed.
Et est-ce que quelquefois il demande, est-ce que je suis ta sœur, même si c'est ta sœur, nous devons avoir la même lit.
I don't want to talk about that. What's another thing we don't talk about? Trauma. We don't teach people about. There are many people who are emotionally, psychologically, mentally traumatized. You know, when you go to the hospital, so on a people des examens, on n'a rien. Whether c'est la sorcellerie, on attend de faire au village, ce n'est pas la sorcellerie. It's not possession. It's stress. When the woman is stressed from mentally, psychological torture, she has no response to sex. But a man may even be angry if he sees a woman naked, he's ready.
Même si elle passe il voit une femme, il va te répondre.
And sometimes you say, ce que tu veux faire, tu me laisses. So, pendant que tu es en train de faire ce que tu veux, elle est en train de... Tu penses qu'elle est en train de dormir, elle ne dort pas. Elle est en train de faire ce que tu veux faire, elle ne fait pas. Elle est en train de tuer les moustiques sur le bouc. Trauma. Have you heard of the word narcissist or narcissism? A narcissistic husband or a narcissistic woman is somebody who takes joy in the pain of others. They always make you look a victim. They always do everything to make you feel guilty. Certainly that the church enables men to do this. Many women are suffering as a narcissistic husband. Many of them, 8 out of 10 people that suffer this, the perpetrators are men. Which se personnes qui sont en train de traverser cet état sont les victimes. The perpetrators are men. don't talk about it. Do you talk about sexual abuse in the church? Do you know how many women in the church were raped and they are still suffering from the trauma? Have you heard of post-traumatic syndrome?
Est-ce que vous avez entendu parler de post-viol?
Pastor Matthew. That someone has gone through an experience.
Quelqu'un a traversé une expérience.
And the experience has so much hurt the person.
Et l'expérience a tellement fait mal à la personne.
Even though it is long ago.
Même si le temps n'est pas bien là.
But the impact of it, the person is still on the person up to today.
Et la douleur est dans la personne.
The person is going to it.
La personne.
When you preach this transaction, believe that you go to heaven. And you begin to give them assurance of salvation. You begin to tell them, yes, you have to pay. He wrote my name with a golden pen. He wrote my name. He wrote my name. Il danses up and down, see more. After that wine of it will come, it goes down. The reality to what comes up. And they are there going through this trauma. It was a reality that was repeatedly raped when she was growing up.
De manière répétitive, était violée pendant qu'elle grandissait.
So she sees every man as a rapist.
Et elle voit tout homme comme un violeur.
Elle est toujours en pantalon.
Always the trouser.
When she got married.
Même quand elle s'est mariée.
Every time if the husband have to have sex, he must prepare her and she's awake. She must know it.
Et une fois que le mari when
she sleeps in the bed, she will sleep on her own. She sleep on her own angle. If the husband mistakenly touch her in the night, she screamed literally high. Wow! And sometimes people think that the husband is killing. Sometimes they will hold her mouth. So anybody, when the husband touches her with that, she thinks that she's feeling that the rapist is about to rape her.
Et quand le mari la touche, elle pense que c'est le violeur qui est prêt à la toucher.
8 out of 10 men in the church are irresponsible, including pastors.
8 hommes sur 10 à l'église sont irresponsables, même les pasteurs inclus.
But are they going to heaven?
Vont-ils au ciel?
Are they really living the life?
Est-ce qu'ils vivent vraiment la vie?
Sometimes some of them is because they are not aware of it.
Quelquefois, c'est juste parce qu'ils ne sont pas informés.
When you see a pastor who constantly insults and intimidates the Christians because he grew an intimidated environment.
Quand vous voyez un pasteur qui insulte et qui intimide les chrétiens parce qu'il a vécu dans un environnement où on les
he has no self-assurance.
Il n'a pas l'assurance.
He does not know who he is.
Il ne sait pas qui il est.
He feels that what makes him a man or a pastor is the power.
Il pense que ce qui fait de lui un pasteur, c'est le pouvoir.
When you challenge his authority, he will show you.
Quand tu défies son autorité, il va te montrer.
It's from his background.
Ça, ceci sort de son arrière-plan.
What he wants.
Ce qu'il a traversé.
Transposing it.
Il transpose cela.
A woman who grew up in an environment where the mother was always shouting.
Et une femme qui a grandi dans un environnement où sa maman grondait.
Whatever you do, what she will shout.
Que tu penses que ton père va gronder?
But the old things are passing away. But we are seeing the realities.
Mais nous voyons la réalité.
We are living it.
Nous la vivons.
A woman who grew up in a house where there was no mother to pack clothes, the father's clothes when he went to travel.
Et une femme qui a grandi dans une maison, qui n'a jamais vu sa maman arranger la valise de son mari quand il voyage.
Don't kill yourself. She never saw it. Pack your things. Don't be waiting for you will be creating yourself problems. You will be creating yourself. Pack your things. La femme si tu n'es pas. You will kill yourself. All this is what? The things that we don't discuss in the church. How do we deal with the loss? How do we gérer la belle famille? How do you live with a narcissistic husband? The church doesn't talk about that. How do we deal with really cultural issues? In Africa, death. I preached a sermon in Kumba when Pastor Mufota lost the wife. I would like you to listen to the message. First time he was not really well buried, so he was not accepted. When TB Joshua was still alive, ça c'était un marabout réel à l'église. There are even pastors who have carried some of their relatives. Even I know one pastor was sick, he carried the wife to a native doctor. The wife died to the native doctor, but the way they covered, the church never talked about it. They just covered and spiritualized it. Pasteur de la mission de plein évangile. Excluded video. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. Yes, sir. That is because we don't want to create trouble. We want peace. That's another concept. One piece. And sometimes, Pastor John, understanding, and sometimes that pastor has daddy, a daddy in the mission. Daddy. C'est ce daddy qui le couvre. That is church sin. Ça, c'est le péché de l'église. Ça, c'est le péché de l'église. Mais pour aller dans les marabouts, c'est toi qui dis. There's no Bible verse that says if you take your wife to the native doctor, you'll be killed. You'll be disciplined. In our country. C'est quand tu dis là, je t'aime te dire la vérité. I'm telling you what is happening. What you are saying is true. We're supposed to discipline. Where this brother just lost the wife and is in pain, instead of now crying with him, you are going to discipline him again. Let's just allow the Lord understands. Are we understanding, men of God? So, let me just, not to watch that, let me give us now the 4 word pictures of salvation. Just 4. 1, salvation is reconciliation. With God, with yourself, and with others. So the first, pick what picture of salvation is reconciliation. Sin is not so much about breaking the law. Not definition, I said what image, I'm not finding. Salvation is first of all a reconciliation. With God, with yourself, and with others. Sin is not primarily about breaking rules.
briser la loi de Dieu,
We're breaking relationship.
mais c'est briser une relation.
Adultery is an act.
L'adultère, c'est un acte,
N'est-ce pas?
c'est pas vrai.
Parfois, mais ça ne fait même pas mal.
Sometimes it's not
Huh? But what is the after effect of adultery?
quel est l'effet
Les relations
de
sont
l'adultère? Les relations sont.
and sometimes when people are feeling bad about it, it's not feeling that they did it.
Et parfois, quand les gens se sentent mal, ce n'est pas parce qu'ils ont fait cela.
No. What are they feeling bad?
Pourquoi se sentent-ils mal? Ils ont dit,
Si ma femme est au
si my
courant,
wife is aware of it,
si le district est au courant,
if the district is aware of it,
si le régional est au courant.
if the pastor.
The problem is not that I committed
Le
adultery.
problème n'est pas que j'ai commis l'adultère.
The relationships involved.
La relation
Les relations.
est impliquée.
Les relations
Les
impliquées.
relations sont impliquées.
That's what tortures the person.
C'est ça qui torture la personne.
Sometimes the person will have sleepless night.
Quelquefois, la personne va passer des
It is not the act that is causing the person to have the sleepless
Ce
night.
n'est pas l'acte qui amène la personne à passer des temps.
It's what?
C'est quoi?
The consequences.
C'est les conséquences.
Sin is not just breaking God's rules,
Le péché n'est pas seulement de briser les lois de Dieu,
but breaking a relationship with
mais
God.
c'est briser une relation avec Dieu.
When Adam and Eve did their thing,
Quand Adam et Ève ont commis leurs choses,
then what happened?
qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
They were hiding.
Ils se sont cachés.
Where are you?
Où êtes-vous?
I am ashamed of naked.
Oh, j'ai vu que je suis.
Was he not naked before?
N'étais-tu pas nu avant?
Where are you?
Où es-tu?
Felt bad.
Ce sentiment-là.
His relationship with God was broken.
Ta relation avec Dieu était.
He could not confidently face God.
Il ne pouvait plus faire face à Dieu.
He could not go close to God
Il ne pouvait plus aller pour.
and stay with God.
Il ne peut plus être avec Dieu.
He was feeling bad.
Il s'est senti mal.
His relationship with his wife was affected.
La relation avec son épouse était affectée.
The woman you gave me.
La femme que tu m'as donnée.
So the woman now became a problem.
Maintenant, la femme est devenue un problème.
But when he was eating the food,
Mais quand il mangeait le fruit,
he did not tell her, God said we should not.
et il ne lui a pas dit que non, Dieu a dit qu'on ne peut
But
pas.
then when the relation is broken,
Maintenant que la relation est brisée,
you gave me.
tu me l'as donné.
The woman you gave me.
La femme que tu m'as donnée,
You and her, you are the problem.
vous et toi et elle, vous êtes le problème. Non, ce n'est pas moi.
Relationship.
Relation.
So, you know, when God created man,
Vous savez, quand Dieu a créé l'homme,
you see the way you have created
vous voyez comment
vertical.
vertical.
When you are forgiven,
Quand tu es pardonné,
salvation means you are restored. Your relationship with God is restored.
cela, vous savez, signifie que ta relation avec Dieu est restaurée.
Your relationship with others.
Et ta relation avec les autres.
Somebody who has genuinely repented
Quelqu'un qui est authentiquement repenti,
will build a relationship,
il va bâtir des relations.
will reconcile,
Il va réconcilier.
will tell the wife,
Il va dire à son époux,
this is what happened.
voici ce qui s'est passé.
Tell the person the whole truth.
Dis la vérité à la
So
personne.
that whatever story the person will be hearing tomorrow, the person will know that you did what.
Pour que quelle que soit l'histoire que la personne va écouter demain, que la personne se rassure que ce que tu as fait.
But when you tell half truths,
Quand tu dis une vérité à moitié,
and tomorrow and the other things are coming out,
et demain les autres choses sortent,
affected.
cela, c'est pas l'affecter.
Are we together?
Donc nous ensemble,
Si quelqu'un dort, tu peux dormir, dors bien.
if somebody is
Reconciliation with God,
la réconciliation avec Dieu,
reconciliation with one
la
another.
réconciliation des uns avec les autres.
Take the parable of the prodigal son.
Prenons la parabole du fils prodigue.
Do you know that the father forgave him even before he left the house?
Est-ce que vous savez que le père lui avait pardonné même avant de quitter la maison?
If the father did not forgive him, he would not even have given him the money.
Si le père lui avait pardonné, il ne lui aurait pas donné sa part d'héritage.
But when he came to himself,
Quand il est revenu en lui-même,
the first thing he cried to the father. to
la
God.
première chose qu'il a crié au père.
The second thing,
La deuxième chose,
he said, I'll go back to my father.
c'est que je vais rentrer chez mon père.
When she went to the father,
Quand il est rentré chez le père,
the father has been waiting for him.
le père l'attendait.
When the father saw him,
Et quand le père l'a vu,
he broke traditional rules
il a brisé les lois traditionnelles.
and embraced the son.
Et il a embrassé le fils.
He went on his knees.
Il est allé à ses genoux.
Father, I've sinned against heaven
Et
and earth.
papa, j'ai péché contre le ciel et toi.
The father said, stand up.
Et le père a dit, lève-toi.
embraced him.
Il a embrassé.
The father didn't say confess.
Le père ne lui a pas dit confesse.
Tell me what you did with the money.
Dis-moi ce que tu as fait avec l'argent.
Did you spend the money with which prostitute?
Est-ce que tu as dépensé l'argent avec quelle prostituée?
That was not a question.
Il n'a pas posé de
What happened?
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
Took the son home,
Il a mené le fils dedans.
made a feast,
Il a organisé une fête.
called everybody.
Et il a appelé tout le monde.
This my son who was lost.
Voici mon fils qui était mort.
Is found out.
Il est revenu à la vie.
The relationship was
La relation était réconciliée, était renouée.
at the table at the table with a meal.
Et avec un repas.
Are we together?
Donc nous ensemble.
That's just one picture. We can teach so much of just on relationship.
Et si nous enseignons,
We could.
nous pouvions enseigner plus sur la relation.
There are so many religious people in the church
Il y a beaucoup de religieux à l'église
who are going to heaven.
qui vont au ciel.
They don't talk with their father-in-law.
Ils ne parlent pas avec les
They don't
beaux-pères,
talk with their mother-in-law.
avec les belles-mères.
They are preaching on the pulpit of Sunday,
Ils prêchent au plus de dimanche.
but they don't talk with their wife.
Mais ils ne parlent pas avec les époux.
They don't talk with their children.
Ils ne parlent pas avec leurs enfants.
Hello? Are we understanding now?
Est-ce qu'on comprend maintenant?
Let's move to the second image.
Approchons la deuxième image.
Salvation is deliverance.
Le salut, c'est la délivrance.
Deliverance
La délivrance
from external forces,
des forces externes,
from internal forces, no, from internal and external forces.
des forces internes et externes.
When the relationship is built,
Quand la relation est bâtie,
there are still things that need to be dealt with.
il y a des choses dont on doit traiter.
The internal forces
Les forces internes,
might have to do with the traumas the person has gone through in life.
ce sont en rapport avec les traumatismes que la personne a.
They might.
Ça peut être des traumatismes que la personne a traversé dans la vie.
Take time and go through it.
Nous prenons du temps pour les parcourir.
Listen to the person.
Nous écoutons la personne.
There are many people who will take to Yaoundé will take Jamon.
Il y a beaucoup de gens que nous amenons à l'hôpital Jambon.
Ici c'est quoi? La cantine. Oh. Where do you take mental food? Huh?
À la cantine.
Those people don't need to go to the cantine.
Ces gens n'ont pas besoin d'aller à la cantine.
It's trauma.
C'est les traumatismes.
When you see that they start picking papers and they were talking alone,
Quand tu les vois ramasser des papiers en groupe et parler seul,
you see that sometimes some of them will be sick and there will be pain in the body.
quelquefois certains sont malades et ressentent des douleurs.
There's burning all over their feet. It's not disease, not demon.
Ce n'est pas la maladie, ce n'est pas les démons,
It's stress.
c'est le stress.
The body has reached elastic limit. It can no longer
Et
stretch
le
it.
corps est arrivé à une limite élastique, il peut plutôt soutenir
It's reacting.
et réagir.
That person doesn't need anointed prayer.
La personne n'a pas besoin d'une prière point.
Pastor John needs somebody that will be present.
C'est quelqu'un qui sera là.
Pastor Johnson will talk something about when we talk about being present.
Et le pasteur parlera de comment être présent.
Somebody will listen to you.
Quelqu'un va le dire,
Not to condemn you,
pas pour te condamner,
not even to agree with you,
pas même pour être d'accord avec toi,
but just to ask you questions,
mais juste te poser des questions
to impose some of the challenge.
pour que tu te vois certaines.
That's what some of the things we'll do during our story of becoming.
C'est pour cela que c'est l'une des choses qu'on va faire dans notre histoire de Dieu.
Something I've never had time to do just now.
Quelque chose que tout le monde a même pensé, mais
It's eating you up.
il est en train de te ronfler,
Eating you up.
il te ronfle.
You need to do it.
Il est en train de-
Some of it is really demonic forces.
Parfois, c'est des forces démoniaques.
That's why when you do systematic analysis of salvation,
Quand on fait l'analyse systématique de sa vie,
they'll say, no, a believer can never be demon possessed.
un croyant ne peut jamais avoir des démons.
Who are you calling a believer?
Qu'est-ce que tu appelles croyant?
The person you asked, you prayed, he repeated prayer, and then you told him he was going to heaven.
Quelqu'un a dit qu'il a répété une prière et tu lui as dit qu'il va déjà au ciel.
And there were issues that were not dealt with.
Et il y a des choses qui n'étaient pas
He
traitées.
was involved in occultism.
Il était impliqué dans
Some of them still have those occultic objects in the
D'autres
house,
ont des objets occultes dans leur maison.
and you have not dealt with them.
Et tu n'as pas traité avec
And then you say, no, a believer cannot be demon possessed.
que non, un croyant ne peut pas avoir.
Theologically, it sounds correct. Theologically, it sounds correct.
Oui, théologiquement, c'est correct.
But the reality is that the person is struggling with forces that are beyond themselves.
Mais la réalité, c'est que la personne a été démêlée avec des forces qui sont au-delà de ses forces.
Witchcraft is real.
La sécurité est réelle.
Is it not true?
C'est pas vrai.
Do I believe that because of Christ,
Mais je crois qu'à cause de Christ en moi,
he is greater than he is in the world?
celui qui est en moi est plus grand que celui qui est en
But it doesn't stop that the witch will not try to attack me.
Cela n'empêche pas que le méchant, le sorcier va m'attaquer.
Many of us are suffering from spiritual warfare.
Et beaucoup de nous souffrent du combat spirituel.
Some things that happen. Some of us are under continuous attack.
Certains parmi nous sont dans des attaques continuelles.
I need to do warfare
Et tu dois pratiquer le combat
to break it.
pour briser cela.
Don't just tell the person since you came to Christ, everything is okay.
On ne dit pas à la personne que non, comme tu es venu à Christ, tout va bien.
That person needs deliverance.
La personne a besoin de délivrance.
The third thing
La troisième,
on salvation. Salvation is coming under God's sovereign rule.
le salut vient sous le règne.
No, salvation is coming under God's sovereign rule.
Donc le salut vient.
No.
Ah d'accord, le salut c'est venir sous le règne souverain de Dieu.
That's Jesus. When say Jesus is Lord,
Quand tu dis que Jésus est Seigneur,
I mean he's Lord over every area of your life.
il est Seigneur dans tous les domaines de ta vie.
Your money,
Ton argent,
your property,
tes biens,
you yourself,
toi-même,
your wife,
ton époux,
your children.
tes enfants.
That's what Jesus said.
C'est comme tu l'as dit.
If any man will come after me,
Quiconque vient après moi,
let him do what?
qu'est-ce qu'il fasse quoi?
Deny what?
Il renonce
Himself,
à
what?
lui-même.
His wife, not your husband. Don't deny your husband. He didn't say deny your husband. He said his wife.
Qui renonce à lui-même.
I don't know why he didn't say deny your wife. Sorry, it's just a joke. Huh? Pardon. Deny his father, his mother, and his wife, and then what? Himself.
Et lui,
Then do what?
et passe quoi?
Take up his cross
Porte sa croix
and follow me.
et me suit.
Die to yourself.
Mourir en soi-même.
Allow him to be Lord.
Et lui permettre d'être Seigneur.
That's why he said,
C'est ça qu'il a
seek ye first the kingdom of God
cherché premièrement le royaume de Dieu
and his righteousness,
et sa justice.
and all these things will be added to
Toutes les
you.
autres choses te seront.
That is when he is Lord over you, he's sovereign.
C'est quand il est Seigneur sur toi, il est souverain.
He becomes number one.
Il devient le numéro un.
There's nothing you do without asking him.
Il n'y a rien que tu fais sans lui demander.
If every member, including pastor, know that Jesus is Lord over everything I do, we don't need to coax them and force them to give. We don't need to coax them to pay tithes.
Si chaque membre peut connaître et même les pasteurs que Jésus est Seigneur, on n'a pas besoin de les cogner pour donner leur.
Just tell them what we need to do.
Dites-leur juste ce qu'on a besoin de faire.
They will willingly give.
Ils vont simplement te
Don't manipulate them.
les manipuler.
Don't be tell them give so that God will give you back.
Et ne faut pas dire que non, donnez pour que Dieu te donne.
That's manipulation.
Ça, c'est la manipulation.
Give because God has blessed you.
Donne parce que Dieu t'a béni.
Give because God is part of that your business.
Dieu donne parce que Dieu fait partie de tes affaires.
Your business, your job, everything is part of it's under God's control.
Tes affaires, ton travail, tout ce que tu as est sous le contrôle.
You are just a steward.
Tu n'es qu'un intendant.
Est-ce qu'un intendant est le propriétaire des choses?
It's a steward, the proprietor of everything.
Comment maintenant le propriétaire veut un parti qui t'a donné de garder? Tu as peut-être dit, bon, si je te donne, il faut d'abord promettre que tu vas me donner d'abord avant que je te donne. Non, he owns it.
Et cela lui appartient.
The last image of salvation
La dernière image du salut,
is participation.
c'est la participation.
Amen. Did I say the last?
Oui.
How many have I given?
Bon.
This is number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Participation, the Bible said that we are in Christ, and Christ is in us.
Et de toute façon, c'est la chose que nous sommes en Christ et Christ est en nous.
We are in Him,
Nous sommes en lui
and He is us.
et il est en nous.
I am in the Father,
Je suis dans le Père,
The Father is in me,
le Père est en moi,
and we are in you.
et nous sommes en vous.
John chapter 17.
Dans cette,
We participate.
nous participons.
It is participation.
C'est la participation.
That is why
C'est pourquoi
Paul says, do what?
qu'est-ce que Paul a dit?
Walk out your salvation with fear and trembling.
Travaille ton salut avec crainte et tremblement.
Because it is participatory.
Parce que c'est de manière participative.
In salvation,
Dans le salut,
we have the divine actor
nous avons l'acteur divin,
and we have the human actor.
nous avons l'acteur humain.
So the divine actor
L'acteur divin,
has completed everything he has to do.
il a accompli tout ce qu'il peut faire.
So salvation is objective,
Maintenant, le salut est objectif,
which means God has done everything.
qui signifie que Dieu a fait toute chose.
And then it is also subjective,
Il est aussi subjectif,
which means that the human actor
qui signifie que l'acteur humain
has something to do
a quelque chose à faire
as far as salvation is concerned.
concernant le salut.
Je n'ai rien fait, mais maintenant on est écrit là-bas, en haut là-bas. It's wrong theology. Si tu n'as rien fait, ça veut dire que tu n'as pas encore là.
Si tu lui as not done anything, tu vas lui avoir donné.
Because there is what you have to do.
Parce qu'il y a des choses que tu vas faire.
So God has worked salvation in,
Dieu a travaillé le salut.
and you have to work it out.
Toi, tu vas le travailler de l'extérieur.
Hey, is it making sense?
Yes.
God will not deliver you from anger.
Dieu ne va pas te donner ta colère.
You have to work on your anger.
Tu vas travailler sur ta colère.
Asking God to do his part while you do your own part.
Demander à Dieu de faire ta part pendant que tu fais la tienne.
If God gives money to lazy people, then God is not honest.
Si Dieu donne l'argent pour parler, ça signifie pas honnête.
Because he initiated work.
Parce qu'il a initié le travail.
So you, and if you only count on God's blessing on your hard work,
Si tu connais seulement les bénédictions de Dieu, pas ton plus la
you exclude God,
tu exclus Dieu.
you have the money, but the money becomes God in your life.
Tu auras de l'argent, mais cet argent ne vient pas.
But if you include God
Si tu inclus,
and you do your own part,
tu fais ta part,
you enjoy it.
tu vas réussir.
Am I making sense of what I'm saying?
Est-ce que
Do we understand what salvation is now?
est-ce que le temps pour comprendre ce que c'est le salut de Dieu?
It's a whole process.
C'est un processus.
So it is an event,
C'est un événement.
but it is also a process.
C'est aussi un.
Sometimes it's very difficult to say when it happened.
Quelquefois, c'est vraiment difficile de dire quand cela s'est passé.
But when it happens,
Mais quand ça se passe,
you will know it.
tu le sauras.
By their fruit,
Par les fruits,
you shall know them.
vous les connaissez.
There are those that will say we have pronounced them saved,
Et il y en a d'autres qu'on a prononcé sauvés.
but their fruit
Mais les fruits
are showing that they are not saved.
montrent qu'ils ne sont pas sauvés.
There are some who are saying they are not saved
Et il y en a d'autres qu'on dit qu'ils ne sont pas sauvés
because they are not in your church
parce qu'ils ne sont pas dans ton
and
église.
they didn't repeat your
Et
prayer,
ils n'ont pas répété ta prière.
but their fruit
Mais les fruits
show you that they are saved.
montrent qu'ils sont sauvés.
Mon original dit Amen. Ça veut dire que même si tu ne dis même pas Amen,
But Elias said,
L'original a
amen.
déjà dit
You
amen.
don't say amen. Elias has said amen.
so salvation
Ainsi donc le salut
it involves emotions,
implique tes émotions,
mental,
tes émotions mentales,
social, that's relationships,
les relations, c'est-à-dire le social,
physical,
le physique
and spiritual.
et spirituel.
But sometimes we are emphasizing only the spiritual,
Mais quelquefois, nous insistons seulement le spirituel.
so that when you die, you go to heaven.
Pour que si tu meurs, tu iras au ciel.
But the person's character,
Mais le caractère de la personne,
relationship with other people,
les relations avec les
the
autres,
person emotion, always bitter, always
les
angry.
émotions de la personne toujours amère.
As I end,
Pendant que je dis,
the church is full of many angry people.
l'église est pleine de gens colériques.
The church is full of many hurting people. Mental, emotional, physical, relational, and spiritual.
Voilà. Le salut implique le mental, l'émotionnel, le physique, le spirituel.
All these relationships. So all this must be involved,
Et tout ceci doit être inclus.
and it is a process.
C'est
It doesn't happen all in one day.
comme là-bas en un temps.
It is a process.
C'est-
Some people need time to be healed from emotional wounds,
Certains gens ont besoin du temps pour être guéris des blessures émotionnelles.
from from relationships that they have been hurt with them.
Dans des relations où ils ont été blessés.
They need time. Savior, hear my humble cry. Humble cry, why on others thou art calling? Do not pass me by, Savior, Savior, Savior. Hear my humble cry, why on others thou art calling? Do not pass me by, Seigneur, Seigneur, maître, à toi seul j'ai foi. Laisse restaurer mon être. Seigneur, guéris-moi. Seigneur, Seigneur, tout maître, à toi seul, j'ai foi. Viens restaurer mon être, Seigneur. We ask the Lord to restore us and to heal us. There are many bitter, angry, hurting people in this world. And because they are bitter, angry, and hurting, they are hurting others. Ils sont en train de blesser d'autres. Parce qu'il est blessé aussi. Just hold the person by you and pray for them. That God will restore them, heal them. Let's start to our feet. Pastor Philip, viens prier pour nous. There are some who have been hurt in the church. Blessé par le pasteur, blessé par le pasteur du district, blessé par d'autres pasteurs. Blessé par d'autres pasteurs. Simplement, profondément, blessé par la mission. Blessé même par la mission.
Ils ont besoin de Dieu la vie.
Seigneur, en toi seul j'ai foi. Viens restaurer mon être. C'est le cri de notre cœur, Seigneur.
C'est le désir le plus profond de notre être. Être guéri par toi pour aller guérir les autres. Nous prions, ô Dieu, s'il te plaît, ô en écoutant ta parole, en écoutant, Seigneur, en t'écoutant nous parler ce matin, le cri le plus profond, guéris-nous, Seigneur. Comment pouvons-nous guérir les autres si nous-mêmes ne sommes pas guéris? Comment pouvons-nous être utiles aux autres si nous ne sommes pas utiles à nous-mêmes? Comment pouvons-nous être les donneurs de leçons? Seigneur, s'il te plaît, guéris mon cœur. Guéris le cœur de mon frère. Guéris le cœur de ma sœur. Que ce soit dans le domaine spirituel, dans le domaine physique, dans le domaine spirituel. Nous prions pour la guérison. Que cette guérison soit réelle, qu'elle soit vraie, qu'elle soit profonde. Parce que nous ne pouvons pas donner ce qu'on n'est pas. Seigneur, si nous sommes ici, dans cette incubation, c'est parce que tu veux travailler ma vie. Tu veux travailler la vie de mon frère. Tu veux travailler la vie de ma soeur. Afin que nos vies travaillées par toi soient utiles pour la communauté, soient utiles pour les autres. De grâce, notre Père. Seigneur, tu nous connais mieux que quiconque. C'est pourquoi tu nous parles comme un père le fera à l'endroit de ses enfants. Accomplis ton œuvre dans nos vies, Père. Accomplis ton œuvre parfaitement. Que cette œuvre du salut soit parfaite en nous. Alors nous deviendrons ces instruments. Nous deviendrons, ô Père, ces canaux. Nous deviendrons, Seigneur, ces personnes au travers desquelles tu vas passer pour que les autres aient ce même salut. Merci, Seigneur, pour ton serviteur et pour chacun d'entre nous. Au nom puissant de Jésus-Christ. Amen.
On dit 10 minutes to 10 minutes. On revient. We'll change our program tomorrow to a bit. On va changer notre programme. We were supposed to close at 12, but on va finir ce qu'on va finir. Let's take a 10 minutes break, then we'll come back. We want to look at the criteria of one that will make disciples and who make disciples.